I should just say this real quick. I talk about Israel a lot lately because they're so active right now and they're engaged in so many horrible things. But I don't. When I talk about Israel now, I'm talking about the Greater Israel Project and Zionism, and actually now not even really just this cabal of old Zionists hanging out within the Likud party, but more like a just sort of global finance, tech and biotech, and there's been a lot of exodus into Israel and or exodus into that's not very okay. I might not publish this, but anyway, there's been a lot of just. It seems like there is a shift of power, capital, resources, AI, tech, all kinds of stuff going into Israel and out of places like America and Europe. And that while these, America and former democracies of the West are kind of being abandoned in ways, certain populations are being shifted around, things are happening, drained, actually being drained. They're being used as sort of like a reservoir of capital. They're what they have generated in the past for their own country uh, is in some ways being through global finance and other ways being taken out of those countries and shifted directly into countries like Israel. So Israel will be sort of like a new super haven, uh, a nuclear power with no competition nearby, everything having been destroyed already with U.S. capital and on behalf of like British interest and Zionist. Um, anyway, so that's I just wanted to say that I'm not talking about it's and certainly I, another just a sub point or personal thing for me is that I love Jews and I love Jewish culture and I love a lot about that and so if I have a critique of this sort of chosen people narrative that's out there right now, or if I have a critique of Zionism or the state of Israel, that is not, a critique of Jews or Judaism or the Torah or anything like that, right? Um, Not too crazy about the book that follows, or it's Talmud or whatever. I'm not super familiar, but anyway, I don't mind me. But uh, listen, what I'm just saying is that we have to stop this anti-Semitism rhetoric, okay? Because for one, Palestinian people are also Semitic, okay? Uh, and a lot of the people that are moving in are not Semitic, are not even Jews, and people that have a legitimate critique of a sort of an ethnic cleansing land grab that's actively underway. They have a right to make that critique on college campuses, on social media platforms, anywhere they want. They have the right to have a pro-Palestine, anti-Israel rhetoric or information that they're bringing, whatever it is that they are about that. That's fine. That has to be protected. And this label, this sweeping label of anti-Semitic, it's just insane, and that has to stop. So people critique Israel, Zionism, and what's actually happening on the ground in Lebanon, in Gaza, the West Bank, uh, Jordan, whatever, North Egypt, This is the Greater Israel Project. It's on. It's on hyperdrive right now. It's happening right before our eyes. And so it's not just people just talking about Jews or people don't like Jews, you know. That's not it. And also just quit conflating it with all these other things. Or I think using the word Nazi and in a lot of ways, fascism. People love to when they talk about Trump here in America, the current academic lefty NPR kind of vibe is all about Trump fascism. Okay, and that's okay. That's very nice. But how about authoritarianism? How about techno feudalism? I'm a broken record now. I'm saying this over and over again, but it's just I don't know, and it's just a wrong focus. Trump is part of it. Talk about his actual role, how he's actually enabling what's happening by being a foil at times, and by putting the focus on other divisive social issues or whatever it is he's doing, and his sort of advances on Greenland and the spectacle of whatever. I mean, he's definitely playing a part, going along, at least. But there's greater forces at work than him. He's just another player, and we need to be able to start to talk about the CIA. We have to deal with the real bully in the room, the real gorilla in the room. And now what's emerged is a kind of an intelligent, supra global structure involving elements, from not just, you know, CIA or whatever, but more like military intelligence, current intelligence, cyber intelligence, space intelligence, all sort of together, like this, Mossad, Israeli IDF, kind of versions of intelligence combined with some British elements, okay, or MI6, people would say in the past. But some of these things are private companies now. They transcend, they're not necessarily just that, but um, but there is this thing, and it's Palantir kind of lavender software being used to target families. Uh, this is incredible, and so this is happening, in Israel, and it's becoming a model. Also, the IDF is trading the ICE agents that are brutalizing people here. What we're seeing is an extension of IDF tactics here in the United States, you know, and it's really triggering and divisive. And if there is an agenda to create social instability in the United States, this is a great way to get it going, you know, and that needs to be acknowledged. And also, it's not just Israel. Once again, what are the financial entities? Who do we even know? We need better reporting, right? So nuance, tell the real story. Don't get stuck with one sort of bad guy or another, or this celebrity politics, making it about Elon Musk or Trump or Benjamin Netanyahu. Even that would be really who to make it about. By the way, but don't do that though. Don't just allow that to happen, right? He's also just yet another figure in this whole thing here. And we have to get back around to better policy with Russia once again. Let's just come to the table with Russia, treat them like a European superpower that they are, and just abandon what's sort of developed within NATO and European Union, and this ousting and this permanent sort of vilification of Russia that's just ridiculous, and that has to end. That's allowing an arms race, also, an escalation just beyond poking the bear. Just my gosh, It's incredible. So that has to stop, and we have to get right back around to that. But yeah, okay. I just want to talk briefly about Israel a little bit, and it's my main emphasis for our culture, or what people when they're talking about this also, is to really never allow it to what you're saying to be seen as anti-Semitic in the sort of the anti-Jewish sense, right, of the word that people use so much. So, avoid that. Don't even go there. Talk about this in terms of geopolitics, of, authoritarian techno takeover, financial drain, that's happening. The dual citizenship here in America and the looting of this country. It's the looting. America is being looted, actively looted right now. And things are going to change. Our rights are being diminished, it seems like. If people can't stand up for their constitutional rights and better reporting, better information, they don't have a chance, and so far they're not doing it. So a lot of people are leaving. There's a huge exodus going on, you know. Um, People that have the choice, people have the power, and there's enclaves being set up within America as well. Sort of there's just going to be vast areas where you're just not going to be. You're going to find when you're just out with your little map, your GPS, your Google, when you're on your Google Maps and you're like trying to get to the national park or something, you're not just going to be able to randomly drive through huge parts of America anymore. They're going to be mapped off for you. Like it's going to be funneling you where you need to go, and not to them, It'll be like a digital barrier in that way, but in other ways as well, that I don't even understand. We haven't even been developed yet, but yes, some of them have. This woman, Susan McDonald, I think, is she an expert on that? Um, but there's people that look into that. My books are all old. I have, Surveillance Capital by Shoshana Zappa. I can't even say her name right now. Shoshana Zuboff. But anyway, great book, Surveillance Capitalism. Forget my butchering of her name. But Surveillance Capitalism, great book. And dated by now. It's old school, right? Now, people need to. I would tune into Whitney Webb. You want to get an update on what's happening with sort of Palantir type technology. There are people doing some really nice reporting on this. They're still really good reporters. I should emphasize that more. That would probably improve my mental state, actually, if I focused on, the fact that there really is like Max Blumenthal, doing some really great reporting still. And there's some nice comedians who have on nice guests who really seem to know a lot, of great reporters out there, great investigative journalism, great things happening and being reported. Lots of stuff on Substack. God, my gosh, you could just get lost there for so long. Really good stuff. But yeah, unfortunately, just its impact on our culture is being really diminished, as you know, by the suppression of this information and sort of the isolation of it over here in the Substack area. We've even had one of our Congress members poo-poo it publicly during hearings. Oh, I don't know what this Substack is. She talked about like some, alien space cave or some where creeps hang out or something. Oh, and they were interviewing Matt Taibbi. But yeah, so that's it. Israel, get on it, focus on it, learn about it, look at what is happening now through a better lens, and get out of the frame of Donald Trump versus Biden. Who do you love? Do you love Biden? If you're on your X and your feed, you're getting all these like, if you could bring back Obama today, would you? There's all kinds of stuff like that. I see it everywhere. Don't you just miss Obama? Oh, Biden. Oh, don't you hate Trump? So they're just pumping you with these distraction kind of political. That's our lame captured political class. The whole lot of it. At some point we're gonna have to look at power again and start to really Palantir, the word Palantir needs to be on at people's lips. This young activist, cool guy posted a post about fascism and this book, The Anatomy of Fascism. Great post, really nice breakdown, really awesome. Okay, and of course he has examples of Trump, Trump. So, but nothing he fails to mention the CIA at all. So that's a crazy. That's just crazy. So, we have to look at real power and also these companies, and these extra national, transnational, global financial arrangements, things that are happening. It's all this isn't a conspiracy. It's all very out in the open now. Like the use of the ownership of media, the use of the military. It's all combining, and we don't have a chance if we don't learn about it and fight back. All right, have a good one.